Good morning.
Good morning.
We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. When we recite this principle, we are expressing our belief that God has granted us with an immense spirit. It is so large that our soul is over 50,000 times greater than our human body. It's just enormous, which is why your aura fills this room, right? Can you just feel the energy? It's kind of exciting. Well, your soul carries the healing for yourself and for all of humanity. It's a big responsibility. And the soul has an agenda. Your soul was born into this lifetime with an agenda. And an agenda is something particular that your soul wants the minute it's born, or before it's born. Before you come into this human body, your soul knows what it wants to do. I don't know why we aren't just granted with the knowledge of knowing what we want to do when we're born, but we are not. It's like we have to fall into it. We have to trip over our own feet to get to it. But just remember, there is always infinite intelligence. There's always God. There's always a higher agenda than our soul agenda. And there's always a plan. We don't see it, but there's always a plan. And we're never alone. Which I know you also feel in this church. You're never alone. You walk in the door and you're greeted by 1,000 spirits in that hallway. But our soul agenda needs to be completed. We just have this urge inside of us. We keep saying, there's got to be something more. Why was I born? What am I supposed to be doing? Am I all I'm supposed to be? Well, we can't force change on people. We can't force change on ourselves. We can't force change on loved ones. And I know from personal experience, I've tried my life, my earlier life, before I was blessed with spiritualism. I was addicted to alcoholics. I was an enabler. And I really believed that if I just surrounded, if I just suffocated these people with love, they would want to change. Or if I just showed them how wonderful it was to be sober, they would want to change. Boy, was I wrong. I wasn't stupid. It was just a mistake. But what it did is make me sicker and sicker and sicker. I became so addicted to being an enabler that I was really hurting myself by it. So thank God for Al-Anon and for the Spiritualist Church of Norfolk. I was able to step through that, to learn what forgiveness is about, to learn what self-love is about. And unconditional love. I was right and wrong. Okay, I was wrong that my love could cure these people. But I was right about unconditional love. Unconditional love creates transformation in ourselves. And when we do that, we heal the world. When we heal this tiny little spark that we call our soul, our God spark, we heal the world. People will only change when they believe that it will benefit them. Not that it will make our marriage better or that it will make our relationship with our brother or sister any better. They do it because it will benefit them. And that's the only way that change is going to take place in that individual or in ourselves. We need to have this real gut feeling that we will improve our lives if we make a change. And it could be a very small change, like not drinking soda, replacing soda with lemon water or something, but just something very small can make a humongous change in your life. Now, I don't tell what people to eat or what not to eat, or I don't recommend drugs of any kind. I just believe that our heart and soul, we can make changes in our lives, and when we change just a tiny bit, it changes our soul path. People need to make a change in their life. Everyone makes changes. And when we do this, it sometimes causes pain. It sometimes causes suffering. We don't enjoy that. I mean, you might say we're hooked on pain, but we're not really. We don't truly enjoy hurting ourselves or somebody else hurting us. But we will embrace that pain if we know that we are on our soul's path of agenda. If we're on our soul agenda path, we will be happy to go through whatever it takes just so we can get there. Just so we can find what the healing love is, what it is that we were born to be and to do. Maybe you were born to be a healer, or a medium, or maybe not. Maybe you were born to be a computer creator. I have no idea. But everyone's born with a soul agenda. And until we accomplish that, we're not happy with ourselves. We can't look in the mirror and say, I like you, because you're just not satisfied with the human being looking back at you in that mirror. So when we really embrace our soul agenda, which we're probably doing by walking into this beautiful church, just by coming to this church, we're making tiny change in our life, because you could be watching TV. But when you step into this church, when you step into everyone's aura, you're embracing infinite intelligence and saying, okay, I'm here, and I'm listening, and I'm ready to find out what it is you need to tell me. I want to say one little sentence prayer. Just pray this with me. Infinite intelligence, show me all that is possible that will serve the greatest good of us all. Amen. There's a Sioux Indian by the name of Black Elk, and he talks about the hoop of many hoops. And he says that above us all there's a hoop. It's a hoop of consciousness. And when this hoop is sick, we're all sick. But the sickness could be being dysfunctional, alcoholism, rape, racism, anything. If it's sick, we're all sick. And the reason we're sick is we are living in it and we believe it's normal. We believe it's okay. And it's just not. So, when we come in here, we each have a little tiny hoop over top of us. Maybe you can feel your aura spinning, creating a little hoop. And this little hoop expands and joins the hoop of everyone in this church. So we are embraced in a spiritual hoop of healing love. So we leave all of that negativity outside the door, and we embrace love. We embrace higher consciousness. We embrace infinite intelligence. And we heal ourselves, and we make a transformation, and that transformation heals the world. Black Elk was really a very wise man, understanding that hoop of consciousness over us. Like Carl Jung said that it was, Carl Jung called it collective consciousness. So no matter what group of people, what religion, what philosophy you embrace, it all comes back to the same thing. Whether it's, Native American or Buddhism, we all embrace the same love. We all embrace infinite intelligence, and we get stronger when we come in here to embrace transformation and to fulfill our soul agenda. I know my best answers come from my guides. I hope that you all listen to your guides. I learned to listen to them when I was younger. and I ironed my clothes. I don't know if anyone remembers ironing their clothes, but it's such a repetitive motion that you get into a daze, and you allow spirits, because we do believe in spirits, we allow spirits to inject thoughts into our mind, or in my case, they would inject like little motion pictures, little vignettes, and I'd come out of it, and I'd go, and then I'd remember it, but I'd think, what does that mean, How did it get there? This happened before I was a spiritualist, so, when I'd hear spirits talking to me, or I'd get these little pictures in my mind, I thought it wasn't quite right. my mother always said I had a vivid imagination. She wouldn't tell me anything at all about this. Every generation has its beliefs and its understandings. So that made her comfortable to believe that I had a vivid imagination versus talking to spirits or invisible people. They're still there. Now she's in spirit, so she knows better. But it took a lot for her to get to that point, though, didn't it? So why are we alive? We are alive to give voice and action and physicality to God, to become the grandest version of the greatest vision we have ever had of ourselves. Let me repeat that, because I really want you to take that home with you. We are alive to give voice and action and physicality to God, to become the grandest version of the greatest vision we have ever held of who we are. Now, you must remember, everything else is beside the point. All of this, the buzz, all the cell phones, all the noise, all the clatter of humanity is not real. It will grab you, and it will make you think that it's important, but it's not. The only thing that is important is following your soul agenda. That's all that's important. So I want to say to you, stay awake. Remember, keep your hoop healthy. Embrace your grandest self. Bless you.